How early should an owner start preparing their financials before putting their business up for sale? And at S&B, we think of that as really just preparing for an exit. And going back to the Zillow example that we've all used here is, I have no interest in selling my home, even though you're probably hearing banging and construction behind me right now. But I am on Zillow, right? Like I want to know what my neighbors and what the market is doing well before I'm ready to sell. We think of that when it comes to selling a business. So we think you should start with an exit in mind. We think you should be preparing 10, 5, 3, 6 months ahead of time. At the 6-month mark, you might be falling behind. So finding partners like what you guys provide as early as possible. But I would love to hear from your clients. Like, when do clients come to you? Like, how early should they come to you to get their financials and ready to prepare for an exit?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, Britt. And I always joke, right, that the best day to start preparing for the exit is the same day that you start your company, right? So it really begins with building that infrastructure, having a good bookkeeper, having a good CPA, maybe having a fractional CFO or a full-time CFO that's, making sure that month over month, quarter over quarter, those financials are going good. But it's also very important, right, for all sellers to have the expectation that selling your business isn't something that you can do quickly, right? It's not you don't put it's not eBay, right? You're not putting it up and then quickly sells the next day. A lot of these times this could be a 1 to 2 year process. And so you just have to be prepared, right, for that time allocation. So we always tell clients, right, ideally start having a conversation about a year and a half before you're ready to really sell, right? So having the first conversations, what does it look like? What is the timeline? Because there are a lot of steps, right, that you want to ensure and have in place that when you're ready to actually go to market, that you're all ready to go, right? Clean up financials is important, having contingency, making sure that, right, the lease agreements are in order, that there's plans for employees, right? And just making sure that you have all those kind of next steps, put into place. And the last thing you want is not to be rushed, right? This is a very important time. This is a very important step to execute and do well. And so you don't want to feel like you're under the gun, right? Just like if anyone's been married, right? The longer that you have from the time that you pick the venue to the actual wedding date is better, right? Because you have to orchestrate, you have to bring in lawyers and tax people and M&A advisors. So you really want to give yourself a nice, comfortable buffer so you're not, panicking, a week or two before it's time to start meeting with buyers.